Hi, my name is Samur. I'm a pre-sales engineer in QDS. Today, we are going to talk about how we can simplify security when it comes to a digital transformation. So we can see how the business users are accessing data from the application and making the organization functional. So with this digital transformation, we can see your application already on the headquarter are moving on the infrastructure as a services in a containerized environment to create a hybrid or multi-cloud. Then the applications are running on as a platform as a services, and 60 to 70% applications are already moving on a SaaS based services, software as a services, to the users down there. So we have the users sitting on the headquarter, then we have a users on the branches, then we have a contractors and the users with BYOD devices. So how they are basically accessing the applications. So your headquarter users already access applications installed on the headquarter. Then we have a branches accessing application on the cloud, which is infrastructure as a services, and on the headquarter. Then we have contractors accessing application on a PaaS. Then we have a SaaS-based applications accessing by the VYOD devices, the branch users, and we have headquarters users as well. So with these increasing number of productivity of the application and the digital transformation, we can see the complexity is also increasing. So the security folks are having a hard time to getting the visibility out of all these traffic flows. So what they do, they try to cope up with implementing multiple security solutions. For example, in the headquarters, they implement secure web gateway. For the branches, virtual private network. Then with the SaaS-based applications, CASB, and data loss prevention. So with these silo security products, you can see that the complexity is basically the same, because these are the same these are the security products which are working as a silos. There may be duplications of the policies, each having their own operating systems, and you need to have an expertise to be operating a secure web gateway, for example, traditional VPN, for example, DLP and CASB. So but with that complexity, you can see the visibility, lack of visibility is still the same, because these security products are working as a silos and not integrating with each other effectively. So now we are going to talk about how we can simplify the security with the digital transformation. So the best way to simplify the security is to steer the traffic through a centralized security controller. So with data in the middle. So how can we do that? In order to achieve, we can introduce by a secure web gateway, since all the application and the traffic and the users are communicating over a public network. Then on top of secure web gateway, we can introduce cloud access security broker in order to see what kind of application these particular users are accessing. So CASB must be able to understand the language of the application, which can be on the base of JSON and many other. So it must be able to differentiate whether this application is private, third party, public, or any other applications. So on top of that, we can introduce features of a data loss prevention, since the users, your confidential data and applications are directly in coordinating and communicating with each other. So introducing DLP will help the companies or the organization to prevent the private or confidential data leaving your private network. Then we have a feature of firewall as a service to have the visibility of all ports and all the protocols, and to have an implementation of cloud-based firewalls for your branches users. We have the likes of UEBA, which understands the normal behavior of the users and compare that to the anomaly behavior of the malicious users, and able to differentiate if that's a legitimate users or illegitimate. So introducing ZTNA will replace your traditional remote VPN users, and it will never trust any users and always verify based on the posture look. For example, if it's a corporate owned device, if it's a firewall is enabled on the endpoint, if it's an encryption endpoint, who is the user, where the application is being accessing from. Other than the posture, it can assign or access application on the users on the basis of a VPNless environment. So other than that, we have SD-WAN, which is an automation, provisioning, quality of service, single play button. Within the single click, you can actually automate provision your branches. So it is with the quality of service. So you are doing an auto provisioning on your WAN segment. You can also introduce the features of DNS and remote browser isolation. What RBI does, it actually execute the web pages onto the cloud, onto the servers of the vendor, other than executing on your endpoints. So how we have simplified the security by our multiple building blocks, how the traffic is steering through a centralized security controller, implementing all those policies and securing your network. So this whole wheel with all the features called a SASE solution. In order to have a more demonstration or more detailed discussion on the features, contact QDS. Thank you.